for it. Hashem should help us. The we're in the middle of the halachas of Biras HaOmer. I was going to go right into the halachas of the inyonim of the counting, which is Siman Tov Pei Tes. However, I was asked a lot of shilas that I did not address, and the Olam is right. I didn't address it, and let me just talk about them. For example, what about shaving this year on Rosh Chodesh year? Are you allowed to shave this Friday? Is there a hefta to shave on Friday? I see that this question is being asked on the slide. Also, you're allowed to shave on Friday. What's the shaila? Why would you be allowed to shave and not be allowed to shave? So to not be allowed to shave, we understand, because it's just a regular day of Sefira. Just like every one of the regular Erev Shabbosis, shave. So why should this Erev Shabbos be any different? Why should we be allowed to shave this Erev Shabbos? So the Mishnah Berurah brings down over here, Maritik Akula, and Siman Tov Tzaddik Gimel, Mishnah brings down that since Shabbos is also a Rosh Chodesh, it's also Erev Rosh Chodesh. Also Mishnah Berurah in Chal Rosh Chodesh Shabbos, so there's a Tosefus in the Shabbos and this Rosh Chodesh. So therefore, Yesh Latir L'Staper and Erev Shabbos, when they come to Shabbos, you're allowed to shave on Friday for the company of Shabbos. That's the Mishnah Berurah. What's a chiddush in this Mishnah Berurah? It's a very big chiddush in this Mishnah Berurah. Maybe this specific Friday, I don't know if there's maybe not a chiddush, maybe there's a chiddush that we, maybe when the Mishnah Berurah was talking about shaving on Friday, which is Erev Shabbos, and also Shabbos is Rosh Chodesh, maybe the Mishnah Berurah is only makel on a year when, not like this year, when Rosh Chodesh doesn't fall on Friday. This year, Rosh Chodesh is Friday, Shabbos. But maybe the Mishnah Berurah would never have been makel if Rosh Chodesh is on Friday like this year, and he's only makel when Rosh Chodesh falls on Erev Shabbos. Excuse me. Maybe it would only be makel when Rosh Chodesh would fall on Shabbos, let's say Shabbos Sunday, like that, but not when Rosh Chodesh is on Friday. What's logic? Because we know that there's a Rabbi Chassid. Rabbi Chassid had a tzavah that many people thought Mishnah Berurah himself down to take haircuts or cut or even cut nails. Mishnah Berurah has in Siman Reish Samech Beis where the Mishnah Berurah in Siman Reish Samech where the Mishnah Berurah discusses this. He says you're not allowed to cut nails, give haircuts, etc. on a day of Rosh Chodesh. What's the hezber of the tzavah of Rabbi Chassid? It's something of Kabbalah. It's not something that we have such an understanding in. But the Mishnah Berurah brings down that there are people that have a minhag that they never take haircut on a Rosh Chodesh ever. So maybe when the Mishnah Berurah said that you could take a haircut or take a shave on Erev Shabbos, which Shabbos is Rosh Chodesh, maybe he meant in a case of where it's not like this year that it's a 2 day Friday Shabbos is Rosh Chodesh. That's what you could have said. Then it'll come out like this. It'll come out that maybe in 2 years from now, 3 years from now, when Erev Shabbos will be the last day of Nissan, and Shabbos will be Rosh Chodesh. So in that case, you won't have the issue of Rabbi Chassid. Shaking this year, we have the issue of Rabbi Chassid. So then maybe you won't be allowed to take a haircut. But this is an absolute toyus. Like Rabbi who's saying that, I can't read, it's hard for you. Like Eitan, like Rabbi Eitan is saying over here, that's the toyus. Because the way our calendar is set up, the only time that you could ever have a Rosh Chodesh on Shabbos is if you also have a Rosh Chodesh on Friday. Rosh Chodesh Iyar, the only way that Rosh Chodesh Iyar can be chal is since Rosh Chodesh Iyar is 2 days. So Rosh Chodesh is always either going to be Sunday, Monday, or it'll be Friday, Shabbos. But it's never going to be Shabbos, Sunday. So therefore, that means that the Mishnah Berurah was nachas to the fact and realized that you can never have a Rosh Chodesh Iyar unless you on Shabbos, unless it's also chal on Friday. The Amal PK, the Mishnah Berurah says in Furish that you could shave. Says going Rav Moshe, Rebbe, Rav Moshe Feinstein Zeichet Tzadik Livracha. What's the pshat in the Mishnah Berurah? Pshat in the Mishnah Berurah is that even though always a person who's makbid on following Rabbi Chassid, he would not take a haircut, let's say when Friday with Chal Rosh Chodesh, but that says Rav Moshe because he would have the option of taking the shave and the haircut on Thursday. Masha King says Rabbeinu Agadu Rav Moshe Feinstein that this year in Sefira upon him, whatever it's going to be Chal the Rabbi Chassid on a Friday, on a Rosh Chodesh, which is a Friday Shabbos. So now, if you're going to tell him that he can't take that haircut with Shabbos and the covered Rosh So then we're going to have a problem because he's also not allowed to do it on Thursday. So the Mela, that's clear in the Mishabura, that the Mishabura is nachas to his whole cheshbon and saying that even if you're older Rabbi Chassid, this year, you're allowed to take a hair, which is this year, you're allowed to take the haircut on Friday. I tell people that they should take the haircut on Thursday night. The cheshbon is that not everybody agrees to the cheshbon I just made in the Moshe. The Stipler, for example, Stipler said that the Mishabura just means to say, this is the halacha. If you hold the Rabbi Chassid, take a haircut. That's a very big chiddush because the Mishabura should have at least said that Lefi, those that don't hold Rabbi Chassid, he should have said the way he's saying the halacha. It's a very big chiddush. The only thing I can tell you is that Stipler held that that's where, therefore, you shouldn't hold like Rabbi Chassid, you should not take a haircut. The only thing I could say is that there are poskim, if I'm not mistaken, maybe the Buchacha, I'm not sure, but that they say that if, on any chiddush, for example, that a person is makbid on Rabbi Chassid, they want to say since Ein Mekachin is a chiddush for Laila, and I'll be moisef. Number one, Ein Mekachin is chiddush for Laila. And number two, maybe Rabbi Chassid only said it when it's Aleph. Maybe that's another tzad in the Achreinim on Rabbi Chassid. The only time he said it is when it's an Aleph. So maybe Thursday night, which is not an Aleph, it's a Lamed, and it's a night, and Ein Mekachin is chiddush for Laila. And the cheshbon, anyways, we might sure that it's Mutter Gomer, because since you don't have the option of doing it on Thursday because Thursday is Sfira, so therefore I would say that there's a makom, very big makom to be makel. Therefore, you can shave, you can take a haircut, and that's number one. I'm seeing there's a shaila here. If you don't hold Rabbi Chassid, so then there's no shaila. Body take like the yekes. I don't think hold Rabbi Chassid. I'm under the impression that some svardim, the Rabbi said that he doesn't hold the Rabbi Chassid. I don't know. I think the Kappa Chaim does. I don't know, Rabbi Moyle, Rabbi Elbaz, you guys have to tell me. I don't know. But upon him, those that do not hold the Rabbi Chassid, of course, for them, there's no shaila. They for sure can take a haircut this Erev Shabbos and Fakir. They should probably just take the haircut closer to Shabbos. If they don't hold Rabbi Chassid, then they shouldn't do my cheshbon. They should do it closer to Shabbos, which is more coming to Shabbos. According to, what am I telling my own kids? my kids, I'm telling them that they could shave on Thursday night. If you hold of the Arizal, thank you for asking, because I forgot to say, if you hold of the Arizal, you don't have any of these Teterim. According to the Arizal, these are Yamim, Atluim, B'Saira. And according to the Arizal, Rabbi say even on like Ba'omer, you're not going to be allowed to shave. If you hold like the Arizal. It's two separate things. The Arizal has nothing to do with music, chasanas. The Arizal is a pikabala with hair. Therefore, according to Arizal, you shouldn't take a haircut on even like Ba'omer. So Kallus on this Friday, you shouldn't be able to take a haircut. So that is number one. Number two that I was asked is, I said yesterday about dancing. Sorry, not dancing. I said yesterday about music during exercise. I said about music during what am I reading here? Is there a hiddur one way or the other, shaving or not? Listen, there's always a hiddur, I guess, to follow the Arizal, but it's a chumash that wasn't discovered by Rabbi Tzibur to do like the Arizal. And also there's a hiddur because the Stipler said that Mishabura is only talking to people that don't follow Rabbi Chassid. But that's already something that each person has to know on his own. I mean, I think there is a makom to be made, especially if you do it at night, because Ein Mekachin has a chaydish for Laila, and there is a Mishabura Mefurish. I guess when you'll shave, you go in and you have kavana. I am doing like the Mishnah Berurah. I am doing like with Moshe Feinstein, and then you can turn that mice into a mitzvah. That's the chayr. Now, regarding music, exercising with music. So I mentioned yesterday that using music, listening to music while you exercise. I mentioned yesterday that that's not such a simple thing. I mentioned yesterday I had asked the shout Rabbi Yashiv. Rabbi Yashiv said no. And Nissan Karellis has brought down that no. And I'm under the impression that the Eretz Yisrael will say no, unless, like I mentioned yesterday, the person is a chayla and says, if I can't exercise with music, I'm not going to exercise. Someone told me yesterday that when he exercises with music, he could do, let's say, 5 miles on a treadmill in the amount of time that without music, he could only a mile. And he said he doesn't have the patience to sit there and do to sit on a treadmill for hours and hours and hours. And besides, he's just not going to do it. So if a person like that would be in a matzav of a chayli for health reasons, so we would probably tell him that the music is going to be yes allowed to exercise with the music. I just want to explain this a little bit because I'm just, there is a Gemara in Saita. It's very famous. Moshe talks about this Gemara in that tree that I quoted yesterday. Moshe talks about that there used to be people that when they would do their job, I think they were fishermen over there by the boats, and then when they were doing their job and they would be pulling in the boats, so then when they would do it to music, it would go faster. Moshe Spina, when they would pull in the boats, when they were doing it with music in the background, it would go faster. So they bring a raya from there that's mutter. That would be mutter in times that it doesn't listen to music. That would be mutter. It's not talking about tefira, obviously over there. It's talking about chorban and whatever. So that's a raya to us also. When I'm listening to music as a timtza to make it that I should work better, so that's the same thing. I'm listening to music as a timtza that should exercise better. That would have been the svara. The only problem with that svara is that it's not exactly doima. When you ask that person, what is he doing? He's working. Right? The working is the ikar. He's getting paid for the working. Everything is the working. And the music in the background is enhancing his work. It's making the work go better. It's making the work go faster. And the work is something that doesn't have a hana to it. The work is something that, like a day of music, it gets fueled, we'll say. And that's why it would not be considered, it would be considered tuffle to the work. By exercise, anybody that exercises and is not doing it for health, he likes the geschmack of exercise, he likes exercise and the music, he likes the whole entire matzav. The matzav of the music and the walking and the what do they call the bench pressing benches and doing with stupid bells and barbells and all these things, right? So the lumdus of that is that the geschmack with the music together makes it the whole entire geschmack. So you can't say the music is tuffle to the exercise, just like the exercise is not tuffle to the music. They're both very, very shava b'shava. So therefore, I don't know if the music, it's definitely not fun to work out. You're saying in general? I'm not sure what he's asking. You're writing it's definitely not fun to work to work out. So if a person is working out and he's not enjoying it at all, and he's doing it purely for health reasons, then there would be a svara like you're hearing over here. I just think that most Balchrim young people that they're exercising geschmack, they like it, they like the music, they like the whole entire matzav. Therefore, I don't know if it's really a raya from the Gemara. Anyways, really Yashiva, not like that. That's number 2. Number 3 is that somebody yesterday when I said that when you move into a dira, so I said that usually you make not a shachianu, you make a teva meitiv, and I said it's mutter during the sphera to move into a dira. So somebody asked me, he just moved diras. You didn't know there's a shaila making teva meitivs and shachianus and whatever. So I just want to clarify one thing. It's pashut that if you're renting one dira and you go to another rented dira, the only bracha you have to make is dayan emes. And certainly not shachianu, and certainly not a teva meitiv. It's certainly not a good tazach. People that have being metaltal from makom to makom and the rentings and everything is usually not considered something that you'd have to make a shachianu or teva meitiv on. That's number 3. Number 4 is I was asked yesterday that when a person buys a suit, so I said that if he buys a suit, he can make shachianu certainly on Shabbos. He buys a suit or he has a new suit, he wants to make shachianu, he can certainly make the shachianu on Shabbos. I mentioned because that's the minute. So Rabbi Blinder asked me, because Rabbi Blinder's brother just got engaged, so he needs to put on a new suit for Shabbos. So he asked me when I'm going to put on this new suit for Shabbos. So I put it on 5 minutes before Shabbos, right? Do I make the shechianu then, or because of this minute, I should wait till Sphira, till Shabbos to make the shechianu? It's done already from the time of when you're putting on the suit. Lahavdil, like we find by Avelis, Lahavdil, Leilena, we find by Avelis, that once the person gets ready for Shabbos, ready the Oris of Shabbos, the Kedusha of Shabbos, ready permeates, so that he can already make the shechianu now. I in the exercise on Shabbos Shiur, some enjoy working out. We spoke about this. Yeah, thank you, Brownstein. That's right. Now, Tzarchian, it's a little bit of a Tzarchian. The Shabur Shita is that you're not allowed to take the haircut, and that's how we pass. You're not allowed to take the haircut on Lag BaOmer night. You're only allowed to take the haircut on Lag BaOmer from the daytime. You can be right after davening, first thing in the morning, because we say everybody misses again kikula. Tzarchian is that what's the reason why we don't take the haircut at night? Because you need bixis a yoyin kikula. because we need to have 33 days of avails. So we need to have the day mixes a Yom Kikula. But Sarichin is that how do people dance at night and have music at night? How do you have music at night by the fires and everything in Eretz Yisrael? It's like, it's Eretz Yisrael is more important than everything. But how do you have music by the fires? According to Mishabura, like Ba'omer, the veils, you have to have 33 days of veils. Right? Now, the night, we don't say a mix of Yom Kippur. So, I don't know if anybody has the answer to this question. So the answer is probably, like I said yesterday, all of these in Yonim are based on minik. It's not a Gemara. It's it's not something that's a Tkana. It's not a Mishnah. It's not a Gemara. So if something isn't the Gemara and it's just on Hagas, so whatever Klal Yisrael accepted on themselves, they accept it. Whatever Klal Yisrael did not accept on themselves, they didn't. So if you see people that are dancing and singing by fire, so then that shows us that they didn't accept the minig on that day. So then it wouldn't be mechayiv in the Nagas Avelis. I klape haircuts, they did fine. So there's a minig klape haircuts. Why is this so important? Because I'll tell you a very interesting thing. The Shartzin over here has a suffix. The Shartzin suffix is that maybe when it comes to haircuts, that is such a big tzorech that if you hold of the first half, so then we say in the second half, whatever your second half is, you're allowed to take a haircut. So the Shartzin, maybe that's only by haircuts, it's such a big tzorech. But listening to music, rikudim, chaylas, not such a big tzarech. So maybe you have to aser rikudim, chaylas, and dancing the entire sphere. Says the Shartzin, suffix. No, Rabbi say, Shartzin's missuffix, and he doesn't know. Are you allowed to listen to music in the second half? No. So what would I have said? I would have said like this. I would say, okay, look, it's a suffix in an avelis. Suffix avelis is always lakula, and it's not even an avelis. It's an avelis yishana. It's very, very cool dick, and it's not even the churban. It's a much lower. It's the lowest level of veilus that we have, and it's all based on the nuggets. Right? So I would have said there's no shaila, which is misopik, and the chayy can be meiko. Then I saw Peldik Maisa. I saw that they bring down Shlem Zalman Zechern Levrach Rabbi Yashiv. He said since Mishabrus misopik, the chayra you would have thought maybe to be meiko, but the minik is to be machmer. Yeah. Anybody? Want to object? The minig, I think, is to be mekel. So I think it's clear that these inyanim are totally anyways in minig. So I guess where Shlomo Zalman was from, which is Yerushalayim Yerakaydish, but I don't think that's the minig in Yerushalayim. I don't think so. But Al Kapanim, when Shlomo Zalman, if there would have been such a minig, it would have been such a minig. But today the minig is Pashim Mishtazai. Therefore, all these inyanim are totally in the minig. So therefore, if you listen to music after, like Vaymer, that is Pashim. There was never a minig except klape that, or if a person keeps the first half, that's number 4. Number 5 is I was asked yesterday about Kiddush Levana. Are you allowed to dance at Kiddush Levana? The answer is yes. Vadi could dance at Kiddush Levana. Most of us will be dancing by ourselves the way it looks. You're allowed to dance at Kiddush Levana because this is a rekud for a mitzvah. No difference in a bar mitzvah. As a matter of fact, when the Shabbat brings down the Kiddush Levana, he's supposed to dance as Zayvi, mamish like a chasana. Mamish like a chasana is supposed to be dancing and dancing and dancing. So therefore, this Mighty Shabbos, if you say Kiddush Levana, actually, if you say Kiddush Levana, this Mighty Shabbos, you're making a mistake. But if you say Kiddush Levana, next Mighty Shabbos, you do it with a zam, mamish, with a ganze yeshvei, ganze. So Rabbi Slansky is asking, should I also bring out a banjo and a accordion and a guitar, things like that, right? So that already, Rabbi Yashiv once told me that if it's not the derech to have music in that style, for example, Rabbi Yashiv said if your bar mitzvahs don't always have bands, then you shouldn't have a band at your bar mitzvah. If your bar mitzvahs always have a band, so then they should have a band. But that's how it should be titled. Kiddush Levana, most of us, I think most of us don't have banjos. I'll wait for the Olam to respond, but I don't think most of us don't bring out drums and flutes at Kiddush Levana. Most of us. Right nowadays, it is the derech. Most shiurim have guitars there. Really? Look at that. I was saying that most Kiddush Levanas that he goes to have guitars. Where do you live? That's very interesting. Upon him, now we'll start in Yetz Hashem, Simin, Taf, Pei, Test. Das is the halachas of the Sfiras HaOmer. Das like a Shmakis Sugya. I'm Shalom Taka. This is the last Siman Bez Hashem in Chelakei before the Grace Siyam on Chelakei Mishabura. First of all, the Mishabura tells us in Sivkat and Beis, the Great Zog, the Mishabura, that you have to try to count Svira as early as you can. And as early as you can in the night, Sakta Mishabura, V'Keidim Aleinu, you should even do it before Aleinu. Mishabura is trying to get it in as early as possible. If you could do it before Aleinu, do it before Aleinu. We would have said, Aleinu is Tadir V'Sheinu Tadir. No, get it in before Aleinu even. That's the meaning of most people, that they say the Sphere Sa'imer before Aleinu. And Kidei, she's kind because it says in the Torah Kedosha, to mimois tiyena. Since it says tiyena, therefore we bedafka want it as to make a tmimis. We want a tmimis. We want the whole day counted. There's an Indian that the whole day should be counted. As a the Mishnah Berurah. Now, I want to explain this. This is a very important thing. And this year specifically, in the matter that we're in, that many of us are davening b'chidus, and that's Derech Agav, for those that live in Eretz Yisrael, I just want to tell them, for anybody living in Eretz Yisrael, you should know one thing, that even though now you can make minyanim in the streets with 10 people that are following all the rules, but that's a double pashut that you're not chayiv to go to minyan, and therefore, because it creates a certain difficulty for you, so then yesh ladin and yesh lishkol, this Indian. Sometimes you're waiting for these minyanim in the streets, and sometimes people aren't following the rules, and sometimes they are. So you should just know you're not chayiv in the minyan, even though they are now legally allowed, but you're still not chayiv in minyan in this type of matter. I just want to throw that in as an aside. Number 3 is that, let's explain this, because it's very negated this year that people are davening b'yechidus. When do we say Sfir Sa'imer, especially this year when people are davening b'yechidus? What do I mean? So the Maisa, especially if you hold that it's every night is a separate mitzvah. We know that there's a big shayla in Sfir Sa'imer, is one big mitzvah, is every night a separate mitzvah. Certainly if every night is a separate mitzvah, which we'll see in Mitzvah Shem, is the Roy Paiskin, the Roy Rishonim hold. Every night is a separate mitzvah. And that's why every night we make a separate bracha. So if that's the case, there's a big Indian that the whole entire day should be counted from the beginning of the day till the end of the day. And about that requires us to say the Sfira, to count the Sfira as early as possible. Of course, with the bracha, you're allowed till alois, right? But about that, there's an Indian that the whole day should be tomim. And that's why it's brought in the Siddur HaYavitz and the Moratziyah and the Mishabura here to try and count as early as possible. Now, the Avishad is, so then why don't I, in a regular year where you're at a minyan, so why don't we get up right after the second Seder, and it's already 7:30, maybe my Ma'ariv is not till 11 o'clock at night, and at 7:30, I'll just right away, the second it hits 6, let's say, or later, sometimes it gets till 7:45 or something like that. At 7:45, everyone should get up, set an alarm, and do Sfira. Kriya Shema, Ma'ariv, etc. So I'll tell you what's the shayla. It's reason makdim in the mitzvah, and I'll tell you I want tomim. It's not just reason, Rabbi said. Here, the mitzvah is to count at the first moment, so that the whole day should be counted. It's not an Indian just of reason. So why don't I tell you always that you have to do this? Elamai, you'll say because Roivam, we know there's a big Indian, the Moratziyah, the Ivitz, especially Al Pi Kabbalah, there's a big Indian, Ayin in the Zayir. In Parshas, I think it was in Parshas, no, it was in Parshas Tetzaveh. Fishy, where's the Zayir? Where's the Zayir? No one? I'll find it soon. Where's the Zayir? I'll find it soon. It's on my paper. I just don't know where. Shani, where's the Zayir? Where is it? Oh, Tetzaveh. Tetzaveh. Where's Preshberg? But we'll get there, Bez Hashem. I think it's my daughter says Tetzaveh. But Lamaisa, with Api Kabbalah, there's a grace Indian to be having the whole day Tomim. So what are you going to say? Roivam. Roivam is an Indian in a mitzvah, but there's no shaila that there's more of an Indian to do the mitzvah. If the mitzvah says Tmimis, that you want the whole day counted, so then why aren't we chayiv at 7:45 to get up and to count Sfir Sa'imer right wherever we are? And the truth is that there were definitely poiskim that really held like this, right? Others say that you should at least make the Ma'ariv early because there's reason. Now, once I'll make the Ma'ariv early, I'm going to make you daven Kriya Shema and Shemona Esrei before Sfir Sa'imer because Tadir, V'Sheina Tadir Kaidim. Are you going to tell me that there's a Gemara in Zvalchim that it's a suffix Tadir Mekudesh? What comes first? If you have Tadir or If you have Tadir, where you have something which is Kaddish, there's a Shiloh, which one comes first? And there's a tzad that Sfiras Omer is Deraisa, which we'll see soon. So maybe it's Kaddish, but the answer is that Krishma is also Deraisa. Okay? And also there's a tzad that Sfiras Omer is not Deraisa. So the best thing to do is to make your Ma'ariv early at 7:45, and then you'll do, or whatever your time Shkiyat Seis is, whatever, and then you'll do Krishma, and then you'll do Shemini Esrei, and then Tadir Shem Tadir, and right afterward you'll do Sfiras Omer, and you'll do Aleinu away afterward. But the Maisa, that doesn't answer our Shaila. Most of us don't have our Ma'ariv schedules at 7:45 exactly, and we could just close most of us don't have our Ma'ariv schedule at 7:45. Our Ma'arivs are, our regular times, 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock or whatever, and then later at the Ma'ariv we do our Sfiras Omer. So why shouldn't we have to do Sfiras Omer right now? That's like Grace Shaila. So I saw a Achreinim that discussed this, and they say that if you have a minyan kavua, you could leave the Sfiras Omer till the minyan kavua. So they say like this. One reason they say is because Tadir, right? You shouldn't be davening Sfiras Omer before Ma'ariv. So it's not the right thing. Tadir b'shein, Tadir kaider. But that says Rabbeinu Agadol Vigris Moshe in the 99th Tshuva in Chelik Dalet, I think it was in Chelik Dalet. Vigris Moshe says that's not pashit. Maybe the only time we say Tadir b'shein Tadir is when you have two things fighting against each other. So I have now Krishma. I'm coming to say Krishma. And I have now Krishma. And I have now Sphira. So I want to know what comes first. So I say Tadir b'shein Tadir, and Krishma wins, right? But if I'm not coming to daven Krishma right now, I'm not coming to say Shemanas right now. So then why do we don't say Tadir b'shein Tadir in such a case? The biggest driver of both sides, a lot of times a person davens Musaf, davens, let's say it could be Simchas Torah or something like that. And he has a mincha that he's going to daven at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock later on, and he has the musaf now. So we don't say Tadir b'shein Tadir, you should daven mincha first and then musaf. If taka you're holding at the end of shkia and you have a choice mincha or musaf, so then we tell you to do mincha first because Tadir b'shein Tadir kaida. I am Shulchan Aruch and Aruch Chaim in Reish Beibab. But Mashen came, if they're not fighting against each other, and I'm coming to daven musaf now, and I'm not coming to daven mincha now. Mincha's later on, then we don't say Tadir b'shein Tadir. So I decide that reason is difficult. So another reason they bring down is because if you're going to daven by yourself, you're not going to have Rabbi. And there's an Indian to say Sfiras Omer b'Rayvam. Don't forget this, Rabbi. Sometimes the guy leaves early from davening. In addition to the fact that it's not Kedai to leave early from davening because you might forget Sfiras Omer. In addition to the fact that it's not Kedai to leave early from davening because it's not Kedai to leave early from davening. Right? I don't think any of us ever again, after having experienced Corona and having experienced being without minyanim, I think we're going to be staying from the beginning of the davening till the end of the davening. They're going to have to yank us out of the shul. They're going to have to tell us we're closing the doors. Right? Nobody, I don't think, ever again is going to leave early from shul. But in the olden days, before Corona, there was this dreadful nachala that people would leave early from shuls. There was such a thing that people. Why would they leave early from shuls? So why would a person leave early from shul? Why would they leave early from shul? What's the job? He's hungry. Hungry? Why would that matter if he's going to leave early from shul? What are you talking about? What? He's scared. My daughter says maybe he's scared. What's he scared of? He's scared. Why is he scared? Why would he leave early from shul? Because there's a cat there? My daughter says maybe there's a cat in the shul, so he's scared and he left early. That's not what you're saying? What? The cat? To get what? You mean he's scared of my daughter's saying he's scared. No, I'm talking before Corona. Before Corona. When there wasn't Corona, so why did he's saying there's no answer. There's no answer. Well, there's no reason in the world ever that a person should leave early from shul. It's like upon him, if there's no reason to leave early from shul, but this guy did leave from shul. So now, in addition to the fact that he runs the risk of forgetting Sfiras Omer, right, and it's a dreadful crime, no, but he's missing also on Roiv Av. There's a great Indian to together say Sfiras Omer, the Klal Yisrael come together and show that we are being safe, ready for the days of Mount Teda. It's Moyer to Kiddush Shem. So maybe that's the reason. Because if he's going to do it by himself, says the Yavitz, so then he's not getting the Maila of Roivam. But that's not so pashit, because like I told you before, Roivam is a Maila in the mitzvah. Masha'im came Tmimis is that's a mitzvah. We want the whole day counted. So the only thing I can tell you at Boisai is what I think is the most cautious reason, because he's gonna forget. He's gonna forget. Boisai, if you tell a Yid, you daven by yourself, and then by the minion later on, don't wait for the minion later on. So then Bishlam, if he's with a minion, he knows always he's going to remember Sfiras Haimer. But if I say 49 days to remember yourself Sfiras Haimer, that's not so easy. Come on, Rabbi, a lot of you guys have been davening B'chidus. No, by a show of chats. How many of you are out? Come on, it's not so easy to remember Sfiras Haimer when you're davening by yourself. It's not so easy. Come on. Come on. Not so easy. As I decide, you know what's going to happen if I tell this Yid to go? He got knocked out on the third day. One guy over here got knocked out before it started. What are you talking, right? Everybody say, not so easy. It's so we tell a Jew, you don't say Sfiras Haimer by yourself. Say it with the minion, because it's the most important thing about the mitzvah is to do the mitzvah. That's more important than Rabbi. That's more important than Tmimis. That's more important than everything else. That's the psak of Baisai that I tell everyone. The only thing I'll tell you is that you are a Sfardi, there are Tzion, and Aleph Lamed Vav, and in Gimel Tes Zayin, he says Tmimut. Because Sfardim are always Tmimistic, not Tmimis. They're all like Tamim. They're so Tmimim. So the Sfardim, by them, Tmimut is so important. It's more important than anything else. And he says they should say it by themselves without a minion in the beginning of the night. I guess from Seis, we'll see in a moment, not from Shkia. And now, Maisa, us over here, that's the big shot. Us that we are davening the Chidus. So now you really, really should make your Ma'ariv the first thing in the night, because now, anyways, you're running the risk of forgetting. So you don't have that heter, and you should definitely at least try to get the Ma'ilot to be missed. Therefore, we should make our Ma'arivs in these matzavim that we're davening the Chidus. You should certainly make it the earliest possible Ma'ariv, which of course makes it that you can still do that Kriya Shema. I'm saying whatever the normal taste is, go to the Kriya Shema, after Kriya Shema Shemayin Esrei, after that Sfiras Haimer, and then Aleinu. What happens? Like this. What happens? A person, now he comes late to shul. Why would anybody come late to shul? Why would anybody in the world come late to shul? Nobody hears ever again after Corona that anybody in the world that's going to come late to shul. Why would he come late to shul? Why would he come late to shul? He would come early to shul, no? Because the Gemara says that. Why did Rabbi Eliezer, why did he have a Riches Yamin? Because he came early to shul. He has a Tzalikol. That's good. He had a Tzalikol. No, that's a good reason. He said because he had a Tzalikol. So that's why he came late to shul. No? That makes sense? That makes sense. That's the only thing. Yeah. My daughter agrees. The Maisa, let's say he came late to shul because he had a Tzalikol. But he got there, they're starting Shemona Esrei. So and also it's the last minyan around. Because for Shteitzach at Ma'ariv, even at Ma'ariv, where we know you're allowed to daven Shemona Esrei with the tzibur, that's only if it's the last minyan. That's obvious. But if he has another minyan that he could just get, he got to the 10:15 Ma'ariv, and at the 10:45, the 10:30 Ma'ariv, he could just wait for them. But he got there at 10:20. So what do we tell him? We tell him, Rabbi, wait for 10:30. Okay. But let's say he got there, it's 11:30 at night. This is mamish the last Ma'ariv. And there it's already after that long Katzalikol, and it's 11:37, and they're already starting Shemona Esrei. So what do? You have to start Shemona Esrei with the tzibur. Now, afterward, he's going to say Shema. So in such a case, when does he do Sfiras Haimer? No, what do you guys say? Why do we do Sfiras Haimer? He's got now a shaila of Tadim Sheina Tadir Kaidim, right? Because the tzibur, they're about to do Sfiras Haimer. He just finishes Shemona Esrei. He finishes with them. Okay, if there's enough time to finish Shemona Esrei, and he can say Shema, and so then for sure there'll be no Shema. But let's say he finishes Shemona Esrei, and he hasn't yet said Shema, and he's right now exactly together with the tzibur, and they're going to do Sfiras Haimer, or he should do Shema because Shema Tadim Sheina Tadir Kaidim, and Shema is the Raisa Vadai, and Sfiras Haimer is only a suffix if it's the Raisa. So and the Klalim, we would have thought for sure to tell this Jew, you do Shema. But Rabbi said, I have experience with Bachrim. I don't know if you have to blame Bachrim for every bad thing in the world, but I have experience with Bachrim. And let me tell you what happens. If you tell a Bachrim to go and to say first Shema, you know what happens? He forgets Sfiras Haimer. And he's not going to forget Shema. I mean, nobody forgets Shema because he knows he didn't have a Ma'ariv. But if he's going to not say Sfiras Haimer with them, so what's the most important thing is to not Again, actually, the most important thing is to come on time. That's now. By say, this is a big shaila. If taka, so that's halacha l'maisa. Halacha l'maisa is even if he has now in front of him Shema, Sfiras Omer, do Sfiras Omer, and do Shema afterward. That's what you're doing. Next, there's a big shaila, a grace of shmuzing the poiskin, and this is the schala of all that we're going to learn now in Sifbeis, Gimel, Dalet, all these halachas is all based on the very big shaila. Is Sfiras Omer, is it Deraisa, or is Sfiras Omer Bisman Hazeh Rabbanan? Of course, in the time of Beis HaMikdash, Sfiras Omer was Deraisa. But the shaila is what about today? Is Sfiras Omer today, is it a Deraisa, or is it a Derabanan? There's a Rambam. It's a Rambam in Hilchos Musafim, Tmidim and Musafim, in Beg Zayin, Halacha of Dalet. Over there, the Shartzian brings it in Sivkot and Chav. He brings down the Rambam Shita is Sfiras HaOmer, even today is the Reis. The Shartzian says this is the psak of Harbe Poskim, many Poskim. However, in Mishabruda, Sivkot with Dalet, he brings down that Roy Poskim, not like the Rambam. That's the Baal Or. He says it's just a Zecher Ba'alma. Sfiras HaOmer is not a Deraisa. It's Bisman Hazeh. Today, don't have the Korban Omer. So we can't count from the Korban Omer all the way till the Shtei Alechem. So therefore, it's only the Rabbanan, the Rashba, in Gimel Reish Pei Dalet. I got it, saw this today. The Rashba says it's also the Rabbanan. The Halacha, it's interesting. The Halacha over here in Sibalet, the Dibra Maschal Lispor, he brings down a Chinuch that says it's the Raisa. I got to look up that chinuch, and on the chinuch, the Minchas chinuch learns in the chinuch that it's only the Rabbanon. That's the chinuch is in Simon Shin Vav Ayin Sham. So it's very interesting. Once I saw that, I decided to look at the Bir Halacha's other. The Bir Halacha brings down the Rambam of the Raisa. Okay, that everyone agrees. Then he brings the chinuch the Raisa. That's not Pasha. Then he brings down the Tosfos Reid holds it's the Raisa. Oh, we're getting to Mashiach in a minute, Rabbi Gottman. We're going to get there in 1 second. But then he brings down that it's the Rabbanon, that the Tosfos Reid holds it's the Raisa. You should know, I looked up in the Tosfos Reid, on the bottom, I have the fancy Tosfos Reids that have a Magia. On the bottom, the fancy ones, he brings down that Rabbeinu Yeshaya, he was from Troyes. Ayin Sham, it was a little Darton, like a Darton in Spain, over there. And he brings down that Rabbeinu Yeshaya, the Tosfos Reid held it was Taka Rabbanon, not like the Bir Halacha. So all those that the Bir Halacha, it's not so pashut. Now, these are tremendous nafkaminas if Sfiras HaOmer is the Raisa Rabbanan. Nafkamina is going to be number one, mitzvahs, tzrichas, kavana. We bought the mitzvahs, tzrichas, kavana. On a deraisa, you must have kavana. On Rabbanan, it's a machlokes if you need to have Rabbanan, and you have kavana. So it's going to be very important for us. Sveikis are going to be very important. If we're going to say Sfiras HaOmer is the Raisa, so then in Sveikis, we're going to machma, right? Rabbanan, it's going to be much less. So you have to know that the Mishabura says Roy Pois can hold it is the Rabbanon, and that we'll see is really going to be Ikar Tzak. The Mishabura Sivkot and Chafei brings down another nafkamina. Mishabura says nafkamina is, let's say I'm in the middle of eating and I did not make a shomer, and I'm in the middle of eating and you were not allowed to start eating because of Sfiras HaOmer, and you don't have, and all of a sudden you realize, hey, I'm in the middle of eating. So Mishabura says, if you hold it to the Raisa, like the Gemara in Shabbos on Daf, then you have to stop right then and there. It might be testing the case. Then you have to stop right there. Right then. If Sfiras HaOmer is the Rabbanon, then the Mishabura says that we let you finish eating. So these are very real nafkaminas and mitzvah Shem. Now we'll go more kaseder, but that's the Akdama. Another tremendous nafkamina on side. Do you say the L'Shem Yichud? So the night of Yehuda in the 93rd Shuvah, he says, I'm not so happy in the first place with the L'Shem Yichud. When did everybody become a Makabal? The L'Shem Yichud, Kuchbrich, Shchinti, and all this. When did everybody become such Mukabalim? When did everybody come to Jehovah? So the truth is that the night of Yehuda says, no, isn't it a nice thing to tell a person to have kavanah before he does a mitzvah? So the night of Yehuda says, yes. And that the mitzvah says also, that's why we say, Asher, Kedishanu, B'mitzvah, V'tzivanu, Al Setichas HaOmer. And that puts the person into the mode that he should have kavanah. But there's another issue. There's another issue of the L'Shem Yichud specifically by Sfiras HaOmer, because in Sfiras HaOmer says Rabbeinu HaGadol Moshe Sternbach the Ravid in Beis Mem Zayin. He says in the Nusach of the Sfiras HaOmer there's Bal Toisir. Because you say over there, Kemoish Kosin Batoicha. If it's the Bonon, so then not. Now me, because I'm an American, I don't know Hebrew, I never understood that was the pshat in Kemoish Kosin Batoicha. I always thought that we're saying we're going to be Mekayim the mitzvahs that say Kemoish Kosin Batoicha. Like there's a mitzvah to say in the Torah, but not that we're saying that we are doing the one that is in the Torah. But my Israeli children over here are laughing at me, but they're also laughing at the same thing. He said, it doesn't mean that. It means that we're doing the mitzvah. If it's the Raisa, we're doing K'moi Shikot Batoicha. And if it's the Abanim, we're doing K'moi Shikot Batoicha. So I decide, I don't know. So Shmuel Kamenetsky, I'm reading over here, says, Carniel says, not to be goyrus that part, and so too says Goyna Gadler and Moshe Sternbach. He says, he changed his nusach and he writes, the Kosiv Batoira, and it says in your Torah. It says in Torah. Sorry? My son-in-law does Magam to Shlomo Zalman's other text. Shlomo Zalman said, also there's a mitzvah to Raisa to listen to the Chachamim. but Rabbi Gottman over here has been waiting for the teretz of the moon catcher. Where's Erwin? Erwin, you still here? You also want to hear the teretz of the moon catcher, no? Where's Erwin? I lost Erwin. All right. Akapanim in the Dark Chaim in Shalom. Dark Chaim in Shalom, that's in Tafresh Chav. Hey, it's not in the Koima, it's hard to find, so look it up. Dark Chaim in Shalom, the moon catcher. He says, what do you mean? I don't have a problem with saying it. I don't have any problem. Why? Because since today, this is Hashem, we're doing this Sfiras HaOmer, and we hope and pray every day. So we hope that by the time this year is over, the Mashiach will be here already. It's Hashem Kimin, and then we'll be have the Shtei Lechem. So beside is a kumt ice the mafreya that the counting that we were doing was the counting down to get to what? To get to the Shtei Lechem, and there is a chance. There's a very good chance, especially this year. There's a good chance. It's for sure the greatest chance that has been in the history of Kallus. How right? Didn't come last year. So Kapanim, this is the closest ever to Mashiach. And by the side, says the Darkei Chaim Mishalim, it'll come out that it was a counting of a derais of the Mafreya. That's a very big chiddush. That's a munkacher chiddush. That's a great chiddush. The Mishaburam in Zivkotin Ches over here, he says, Rabbi said, what do you think the Ashkenazim do? Hayoim yoim rishoim hayoim yoim echad ba'oimer or la'oimer. I think most people think that the meaning of the Ashkenazim is ba'oimer. He says la'oimer. Uberoiva poiskim anusach is la'oimer. Shibur is la'oimer. In Eretz Yisrael, I guess they do ba'oimer. I think that's the Gra. But you should know, whatever you do is your yotzei. Now, there are some people say hayoim yoim echad ba'oimer la'oimer, and they say both. Did you ever see that? Did you ever see that? Yeah, they're looking at me and they're saying they saw me do it. They didn't see me do it. I say hayoim yoim echad ba'oimer, and then I whisper la'oimer. Why did I do that? Because the great Goyin Rav Scheinberg Zecher Tzadik L'Tocha, that's what he did, and that's what I do. Okay, but I don't do it out loud because it sounds weird. That sounds a little bit weird. Rav Scheinberg is not a Rabbi. My kids are asking me, did Rav Scheinberg do it out loud? Rav Scheinberg was old and he couldn't hear so well. So everything he did was out loud. Before, I wasn't even a different Gilgul before. I only came to Rav Scheinberg when Rav Scheinberg was already 300 or 400 years old. Now, I'm getting a lot of flack here, everybody saying. Now, which verse you've gotten your Dalit says, wait till it says to do the Sphira. And this has nothing to do just if you hold it to the Raisa Sphira, sure, it's something the Raisa L'Chumra. Even if you don't hold it to the Raisa, but why should you put yourself into a Safik L'Chatchila? Why put yourself into a Shiloh L'Chatchila even under Abundance? We're not allowed L'Chatchila to put ourselves into a Safik. So you wait till Tzeis, whatever your Tzeis is, everybody has their own Tzeis. The Halacha says all that. Now, Lemaisa, there is a grass, the Balatanya, that sounds like you have to have kavana to not be yotzei with the chazan. And if not, it's a problem. Because since there's a tzad that Sphira doesn't need kavana, because maybe Sphira is only Drabbana. And maybe if it's Drabbana, maybe mitzvahs don't need Kavana. So then maybe when the Chazan is saying it, and the Chazan is having Kavana to be Moitzi, anybody who wants to be Yotzei with him, so then maybe that's a problem. And the Graz is mashma, you should say Mufurish or think Mufurish that I don't want to be Yotzei with the Chazan. This is not the minute. This is not the minute. I think the Mishabruans you've gotten hey is coming up Fukeda. Listen to the Lashon of our Rebbe Mishabura. Mishabura's Lashon is he says, where's that Mishabura? Mishabura just moved. No, Mishabura's here. Miu minig b'kol Yisrael shekol echad midvarech v'soifer la'atzmoi de'ein soimchen al shliach tzibur. Why did Mishabura say it with such emphasis? I think what the Mishabura is being mandigish is that about that's the minig of all Klal Yisrael. So therefore, it's understood and it's an umdun la hedge that he doesn't want to be yotzei with the chazan. Now, if you are knocked out of the sphere of the Hainu, you don't make a bracha, you do not have to go over to the chazan and tell him to be moitzi you, because that's the job of the shliach tzibur, and it's enough just to have das, and he'll have das too. Even these days, my son's asking me, what about these days that the chazan doesn't know that? So Rav Moshe Zechreinu Levracha used to say, the shliach tzibur is a shliach of the tzibur. So therefore, even if he doesn't know that he's supposed to be moitzi, it's still suited to that kedas Moshe Yisrael Mazel Tov. Now, if you miss one day, which this year is probably quite prevalent to miss one day, quite prevalent because a guy davens by himself, so he misses serious aimer. You got to make simanim, Rabbi say, because you really don't want to miss one day. It's a bad thing to miss out one day. Why is it a bad thing? I want to tell you an interesting thing. If you miss one day in halacha, it's such a big problem. You know why? Because the Bahag holds that if you miss one day, you're out. Now we all know if you miss one day, you can make it up during the day. But I'm talking about a total shla meal. No, he's a shlamazim, no? A total shla meal. What would be an example of somebody that misses a whole day? What would be a good example? This guy, he was the guy that screams out in shul, Hayoim Tisha Yomim Boimer. Right? And everybody else says, no, Hayoim Asai Yomim. And he says, no, you're all wrong. Hayoim Tisha, and he's not the dumber, he doesn't change his mind. So then the next night, he gets the email from the Rebbe, what's it called? He gets the message, the Rebbe says, Hayoim, and he hears the talk of the Rebbe. No, the Rebbe said, so he knows he made a mistake and he missed the whole day. So such a person, I tell you, the Bahag says he can't continue counting with the bracha. However, and this is so important to remember, Boisai, Kimat Roiv Rubai of all the Rishonim and all the Paiskim until the Shulchan Aruch held not like this, and held that it is not one big mitzvah and it's separate mitzvahs, and that you're mechuyev 100% to count with the bracha. For some reason, the Shulchan Aruch, with his great Chacham and Ruach HaKodesh and Siv Ches over here, paskins that if you miss a day, you do not continue with the bracha. But this is again, we'll call Roiv Rubai of all the Rishonim. So if a person has to know, now you're in a bigger matziv. If you miss a day, so now you're in a much bigger matziv. Because if I were you, you're not allowed to count with a bracha. You better get somebody to be mitzi with a bracha, and you certainly are still chayiv. Because most people, what happens is like this. He's telling me misses a day, now it's all not real. Now it's all fake, right? Come on. The guy that misses a day, come on, Rabbi say. A guy that misses a day, what does he feel like? One big loser. A big fat one, Rabbi say. With lots and lots of layers. Right? You know exactly what I'm talking about. If he misses a day, he feels like a total loser. As I say, such a person, you know exactly what's going to happen. The next night, he's going to forget again. He's going to forget again. So I'm going to tell you something. It's one of the most incredible things. If I ever become the Gadol Hador, who knows? I might pass in this, but it doesn't look very good that I'm going to become the Gadol Hador. So there's nothing you can do about it. But I want to tell it to you anyways. The Goyin of Moshe Feinstein, he's not talking about this. He's not talking about Sfira B'chlal. The Goyin of Moshe Feinstein in Chelik Dalet or Chayim in Siman Vav. In Dibur HaMasel, the Aniyas Daiti, he's not talking about our sugya at all. He's talking over there about a sugya about wearing tefillin against Maisa. And Rabbi says, in the sugya over there, he says, you should tell this person to put on the tefillin with a bracha. Even though most Rishonim hold not, whatever the case is over there, Ayin Sham Chalmayit or whatever, he says you should put on a bracha. You know why? Zok from Moshe, he talks to us, from Moshe understood us. He says, you know why? Because if you tell a person, yeah, do the mitzvah, but don't make a bracha. Stam inchi, says Moshe. When they hear, yeah, do the mitzvah without a bracha, they think, yeah, right. Moshe doesn't write the words, yeah, right, but that's the translation. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah, like as if this is anything. Yeah, right. And then he's not going to do the mitzvah or whatever, right? Rabbi say, if the Igris Moshe, I don't know. I think that Igris Moshe, if you tell a person today, yeah, you're out, you missed the counting. 99% of the population thinks he's out the gamma and doesn't even realize he has to count the next time. Even the person you tell that, no, Avadi, you still have to count, just that count without a bracha. He says, what? Yeah, right, loser, nutnik. I don't know. If I become the Galador, I don't know. Stan Inchi, I don't know. I'm not going to finish my sentence. And I'm not becoming the Galador anyways. But you know what I'm thinking. You all know what I'm thinking. And to be moisif, to stay chemed, he brings down Pella. Why is it that the Bahag was Zeicha down the Siyat D'Shmai is a Das Yochid? Why is he Zeicha down the Siyat D'Shmai that we paskin like this in this Indian of Spheres Aimer and that we don't make a bracha in a case where you miss one day when all the places come out saying not like that? It's a big Pella. I don't know. The Taisis and Menachas Tamid the Rosh says not like that. The Torah says not like that. The Shart seems you've got them says it's Roiv of the place skin. I don't know. The Shevet Levi in Gimel Tzadi Vav Aleph. I don't know. He brings down. Let's say you have a big tzaddik. I don't know. He says, what if you have a big tzaddik, a big tzaddik, and he forgot a day of Sfira? He forgot a day of Sfira. It's a big tzaddik, right? And he forgot a day of Sfira. And now he's going to come to the shul, okay? And there it is. You know, Oysa Shalom bin Moimav, the Chazim backs up. Yasa Shalom later about Kaisrav moment. Now, the Rav of the shul, big tzaddik, big long beard, like you saw yesterday. And he's going to have to tell the Chazan, no, you make the bracha. The Chazan's going to say, no, Rav will not the bracha. No. I mean, Anav, he's going to tell him I'm a grave. No. So the Chazan's going to say, no. And what was yesterday? Because the Rav forgot on the second day of the Oim. He forgot on the second day of the Oim. You believe what's going to be? The Rav, what's he going to do? All of a sudden, you're going to see a puddle underneath the frock of them Greutzer Rebbe. He's going to his stomach. The bush is going to be noira. He's not even going to be allowed to make a bracha because of the puddle. He's going to say, you see, I can't make a bracha now. You make the bracha now. Right? Ooh, such kavanah priyas, such kavanah Torah, such noira. As I said, the Shevet Levi. In this case, you tell the Rav, such bushes, he doesn't have to paskin like the Bahag. The Sfardim, they're much tougher. The Alkid Yosef, he says, not only can the Rav not make the bracha, you don't go against Maran. You don't go against Maran. Bet Yosef, no way. Not only that, the Rav, or that person that forgets, he can't even be the Chazan. Here's a Maisa. I would have said an Eitzah. Let him be the Chazan, and he'll go over to somebody. Hey, you, listen, Herzl Chaim, I'm going to be moitzi you. When Shemek Oina. And I'll get any mitzvah I can be moitzi you. So just I'll make the bracha and I'll be moitzi you. Why do you want to do that? Oh, this big inyonim that I should be moitzi you because I'm a very big tzaddik. And don't ask questions. Just okay. Then I'll talk. What can I do? So he says the Alkid Yosef, he can't even do that because he's an Eina Mechuyev Badover according to the Bahag. According to the Bahag, he doesn't have the mitzvah of sphere anymore. That's such a grace chiddush. I would say at least that much you can let him do. But like upon him, you know me, Rabbi say, the more ridiculous chiddush this Bahag, I don't know. That's such a big chiddush. I don't know. That's such a big chiddush. I don't know. Rabbi say, hey, the Shiur is almost over. It's 6:09 and we're already late. So I'm going to go for 3 more minutes. Because so late, because we started late. I'm so sorry we started late. Tomorrow we'll finish up the halachas. I wanted to tell you what I saw in the Kedushas Levi. What is it saying, Kedushas Levi? Come here, should I tell you what's in Kedushas Levi? In the Kedushas Levi, it says such more the Kedushas Levi is in. He's not in Tetzaveh, where the Zohar was. The Zohar in Tetzaveh talks about it's so important to stand, the Mishnah Berurah says during Spirit Omer, and not to be leaning in a way of where, you're leaning and you're not really standing. You don't lean during Spirit Omer. In Spirit Omer, you stand like this, because during Spirit Omer, it's as Evi Shmoyne Esrei, the Zohar says in Parshas Tesava, Ayin the Orchel Shulchan Tzivkot and Dal, that brings it down. Now, the Kedushas Levi, he's in Parshas Nosai, all the way at the end of Parshas Nosai. The Kedushas Levi says, why don't we make a Shechiyanu on Tzviras Omer? Why not make a Shechiyanu on Tzviras Omer? You ever have that kasha? Why not make a Shechiyanu? He says, because we are waiting to get out of the Memtes Shari Tumah. Right now, we're in the Memtes Shari Tumah, and we're waiting to get out. And every day that we're still in the Memtes Shari Tumah, we're rochov from the Heilige Bashefer. And we need these Shiva Nikiyim, like it says in the Zohar, these 7 weeks of Nikiyas, which have Tyra and Kedusha. And every day that we're not there yet, we're still rachik from Hashem. We're counting to get Korav and Heilig and more none to the Heilige Bashefer. Zok the Kedushas Levi, we would say, if you told me, Rabbi I'm saying today, Matan Torah, Har Sinai, we would cancel the whole sphere if we could, says the Kedushas Levi. Now you guys didn't know I could do this. Kedushas Levi says that we want just koyin of the Rebbeinu Shalom. We just want to be none to the Heilige Bashefer. We want to give, so therefore we don't say Shechiyanu about these times. We say Alavai would be cleansed and we would get to the Rebbeinu Shalom and would give us the Matan Torah without all of this. The Bereitav in Sivkot Nenei, he says more of a litvaship shot. Interesting. He says, why? Because Spirit Omer is not a mitzvah that has hanoeh and simcha to it. It's just a dry mice of saying the words. I don't know. You see, he says, Spirit Omer, he jumps, he jumps up and down, the arms are flapping, he has to take a shower afterward, he has to take a shower during, he's schwitzing so much from the simcha of saying Spirit Omer. I don't know. Bereitav says that it's, and Rabbi Yerucham says these because we said yesterday it's made din, and we know that it's diktuk din. We said yesterday, what do you mean it's made din? It's also the base of tremendous opportunity. Yeah, but we're a little bit scared that we won't take that opportunity. And then besides, that's why it's a little bit difficult to say Shechiyanu on these days. He says on these days we are going from animal fodder, to the Soirim, to the korban of the Omer, which was Soirim and animal food. We work on ourselves until we get to the point of where we eat people food. We shtei alechem, the korban shtei alechem. We have to work on ourselves because the Esh Tzedakah is the Davzayin a mensch. And a person without Torah Kedosha, he's not a mensch b'chlal. As a behema, as a grace affair. As I say, we have to work on ourselves, And Bez Hashem, tomorrow we're going to go weiter. We're going to continue with the halachas of Sfiras Omer, all the Geshmaka cases tomorrow about, I'll leave you with one case. And you guys tell me what you think about this case. And then tomorrow, Mitzvah Hashem, we'll continue. We'll finish up Sfiras Omer tomorrow. You have a Jew on the first night of the Sfiras Omer. He went over to his friend. He said to his friend, hey, what's tonight in the Omer? So his friend said to him, tonight? It's the first night, you idiot. He said, gotcha. Shaila is it true? Did he talk again? Is it the shot that now he can't count with bracha because he said it's the first night, right? Or do we say no? Well, I'm seeing over here mitzvah tzrichas kavana, but that's what we started saying today. That since there's a suffix, maybe Sfiras Omer is drabanan, and then it wouldn't even need kavana, and that's where the poskim will say that maybe this guy he's not allowed to make a bracha that night. He would have to count again. Because don't forget, even if you say hayoin, tonight's the first night, but he didn't have kavanah on the top of their eyes, he's not going to say. So we would tell him count again, but without a bracha or not. Is there something different about the first night? I'll let you think about this, and if it's Hashem, we will reconvene tomorrow. And I love you. I'm so sorry, about all the technical difficulties.